is time to talk about next month's books and what we're getting up to. Things are changing a little bit. I was doing this super specific TBR thing for a couple of months. I'm still feeling out the things that work for me and work for the channel, and I want to keep some element of that. But I was doing 3 books from that very specific genre every month, and I just felt like it was taking up too many of my book picks, and so everything else was getting kind of left behind and was building up. Therefore, I'm switching to a TBR prompt jar situation where one of my books every month, I'll just pull out a prompt, look at my online wish list, and pick a book that matches that prompt. Because the rest of my TBR is going to be a little more loosey-goosey going forward, but I do want to have some things that maybe draw my attention to books that I am not that excited about anymore because they've been on the TBR for so long or just kind of forgot about. I just think it's a good way to not stay infatuated with the most recent adds to my wish list and forget about the older ones because they were all exciting at one point. So I started that this month, and then I'm still going to do the author spotlight where I pick a second book from an author whose book I have honestly loved or hated, and reading a second book by them. I still want to do a nonfiction every month. I think those are my main, very specific restrictions. Oh, and currently working my way through this. These are all of the physical books that I have that I haven't read yet, and I don't like having that many. So some of those are quite old. They're from when I didn't know what I liked and I was just buying random books that sounded interesting in some way. So I'm trying to get through those. I'm going to be putting more of my old books on my monthly TBRs to shorten that stack by quite a lot. November is going to be a month of balance. There are books that intimidate me quite a lot that are in the mix, and I'm trying to balance it out with zero pressure books. So we'll see how that goes. I think that actually might be a really good approach for me in general. First up is, I want to read one large fantasy book every month. So we're doing Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2 in his Mistborn series, and I loved the first one. It was a 5-star read for me. I hold several of those characters very close to my heart, and I just haven't read this one yet because I've been busy exploring other genres and stuff, but I'm really excited to read the sequel. I think it's going to be great. I've heard some people think it's kind of hard to get through. It's a bit slower. I hope I don't feel that way because it's 750 pages. So I'm not scared at all about that. It's really hard to tell you what that book is about without spoiling the first book, so I'm not gonna get into it. Google the synopsis if you need to. You know what? As I am going through this list of books, I'm kind of wondering if I have not made a mistake and I'm not pushing it too much. This might change because I was going to read The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy because I haven't read any Tolstoy yet, and this one is so short. Everybody says it's a good one to try to see if you're interested in Tolstoy. I might still read it since it's so short, but there's a lot of death in the books that I selected for this month. Part of that is I need to process some stuff and have been avoiding any sad books, and so I decided to just confront everything and do it all at once. But this would be the 3rd book that is heavy on the death. So we'll see. I'm so excited for this next one. It is not that. It's One Piece. This is volume 2, and I've been reading it with my friend Adam, and it's so good. We both love it so much. It is so fun. I read the first one. I think I read 40 or 50 pages the first day at the end of the night, and then the next day I read the whole thing, and I am practicing restraint, waiting for Adam to get his copy because it's just a blast. Nothing bad to say about One Piece so far. I have had a tough time trying to introduce myself to manga recently because sexism. But this has been lovely so far. No qualms, no beef. I am a fan. So This is my nonfiction for the month. Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's just one of those names where if you're not really listening to people's conversations, you just know it is somebody smart and well respected, but I didn't even know he was an author. And yeah, he's got a lot of very important books. This is not his most popular book, but with the upcoming election, I thought it would be a good time to read We Were 8 Years in Power. The more blurbs I read about it, the less I can pinpoint exactly what it's about, but in short, it is about Obama being in office and the reaction to that and how that affected things throughout the country. I'm not sure if it then goes to Trump being elected or if it just cuts off and only talks about Obama. I'm not sure, but I'm intimidated by this one just because I always vote and I try to know some about politics. I'm definitely not the most politically knowledgeable person out there, so I'm just hoping that it is approachable in its language and digestible. I would assume that it is because people love this author so much. Fingers crossed. I think it's a really good time to read this. It's always a good time to read this, but especially now is a very good time to read it. It's also probably going to scare the pants off of me because of the timing. But it is what it is. It needs to be read. I'm excited to see what I learn from this. It's actually pretty short. It's like 350 pages. That's not bad. Next is Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner, which is also nonfiction. I've talked about this a little bit already. I'm scared to read this. I'm excited to read this. I had a massive health scare with my mom this last year, and I think that this is going to bring up a lot of that, but I think it'll be really good. It's such a personal book. Some things you just feel like you need to read them because somebody took the time and had the guts to put something so personal about themselves onto paper for the entire world to literally critique. And this book has gotten nothing but high praise. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about this book. I read the first page and was already so much more sucked into it than I expected to be. And it kind of changed my fear of reading it into excitement. And now I've been wanting to just skip all the rest of the books for this month and start this guy. So this is honestly probably the first one that I will pick up next month. This is the lead singer of Japanese Breakfast, really cool band. Basically, Michelle is writing about her losing her mom and how she cooks her mom's recipes to stay close with her. But when she goes to get those ingredients at H Mart, she cries. I'm really excited to see how she breaks everything down that she's gone through. I can't wait to connect with this book. I'm jealous because my friend Gabby's already reading it. Actually, I think she probably already finished it. And I can't wait until we can talk about this together. Yeah, couldn't be more excited, which is so weird because it's going to be so sad, but I could not be more excited. And now for the big, depressing kahuna, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. We already know this book and how large it is, but seriously, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why. You know what? I do. It's because I want to have an opinion. This is such a divisive book. I don't really know what it's about. I think it follows 2 or more gay men in New York and just their lives, just the tragedies and the happy points and all of the things they have to overcome. I think it's just that. But it apparently rips your soul out. I've been trying to avoid researching much of the drama around it. I have heard one thing, which is like, oh, it's not technically bad, but I don't really like that. And then I just decided not to look up anything else about the book until I read it because I just want to form my own opinion without the drama of the book affecting, like if I like the story, I like the story and I'm not going to feel bad about it just because I don't like something that's happening with the author or I don't agree with why it was written or something like that. It's 800 pages? It's over 800 pages. So I think I have 3 books that are over 500 pages. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I am mainly reading this just because I want to know if I'm one of the people that absolutely loves it or one of the people that has a lot of beef with it. I just want to know. Then we have Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. Okay, I wonder if this is because apparently this copy is an advanced reader's edition. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that that's the reason, but there's no blurb on here. I started reading this a long time ago. I think I got a chapter done, and I think it's like a heisty YA fantasy dealio. That's really all I remember. but it's one that has good reviews. People like it. I think it's supposed to be just kind of an easy breezy fun, not groundbreaking, but still a really good time YA fantasy books. And I like those sometimes. Sometimes that's all I want. Sometimes I just need something that's easy to focus on. So that's what this guy's in there for, to balance out a little life. Then my TBR prompt for this month was 5-star prediction. So I picked a thriller, and that is The Silent Patient by Alex. Why can't I say this? Alex Michaelides. Alex Michaelides. That's my best guess. I'm so sorry. This is about a woman who just up and shoots her husband in the face 5 times and then stops speaking. That's what it's about. Okay, but then yes, she's in an institution and there's a psychologist who's got to be the one to crack the case, and he's determined to get her to talk. And really he does, and we slowly find out what the heck happened. And I am dying to know what happened. So sign me up. This has really good reviews. It's 4.5 stars on Amazon, 4.2 on Goodreads, and people do say that the twists are actually unpredictable, and we'll see if that's true. I've had really bad luck with thrillers being boring and predictable, ones that are supposed to be really good. So we'll see. It's going to be 5 stars, or I'm going to be mad that it's predictable and it'll be like 2 stars. I'm going to listen to the Dallergut Dream Department Store by Mia Lee. There is a department store where you can buy dreams, and I just think that's a really interesting idea to explore. I really do. I think it's a good way to dissect the human psyche, but keep it light if you want to. I don't know if this book keeps it light or not. I would assume so. I hope so based on the cover, because I hate when covers are super misleading on the vibes. Like, match your covers to the content, people. Stop just doing what's trendy for your cover when it doesn't match what's inside. That's all I'm saying. Ooh, the audiobook just came out July 9th of 2024. This is one that I just think will be easy to listen to. I think it'll be a really good time, and it's something a little bit different. So that'll be good to break things up a bit with that guy. So that's what I've got so far. I really just want to have a month where I don't need to DNF anything. And like Little Life, I will DNF so fast. Like, I am not going to make myself read an 800-page book of sadness and depression if I don't actually think I'm getting something out of it. If I'm not feeling it at 100 pages, like, that's gone. But Well of Ascension, I kind of have to finish because it's part of a series, and there are other books in that series that people absolutely love. I know sometimes you just got to get through the slower books to get back to the better ones. But I hope that I like this more than other people like it. So that's it. As always, I'm ready to start next month's TBR early. That always happens. It's just, there's always more books to be excited about. Such a good problem to have. But I'm actually off to read more Pierce Brown. I'm going to finish that bad boy today. And then I'm almost done listening to Coltish on Everand. And I'm almost done listening to Heap House by Edward Carey on Everand. So I hope everyone has a great week. I'll see you in the next one.